Welcome to Aligned and Alive, where we move beyond the surface and into your deep knowing. I'm Shyane Montgomery, and this is your space to trust your intuition, clear what no longer serves, and rise into your highest self. Your wisdom is already within. You're here to remember. Welcome to today's episode of Aligned and Alive. We are back, and I have Sheri Thompson here with me today, a beautiful woman local to Idaho. I first met Sheri through Foot Detox in her health and wellness business. And I think that was our common ground, is really being curious about the body and its ability to heal.
Yes.
And then through that, it has led us each on a journey deeper.
Boy. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Deeper into, that's kind of cracked open so much more in spirituality, in healing, in is what we're here to do in life. But it's kind of the common ground has been through the body.
Yes.
So, Sheri, will you start off by just sharing a little bit about how you got here? Let me ask you this. What is your mission?
Wow. That's a beautiful question. I think my mission is first and foremost to continue with my curiosity. I don't see a path before me. I take a step and the path rises up to meet me. It's like a fork in the road. I don't sit there and waste time. I just take one because I'm going to end up where I need to be anyway. Sovereignty isn't a destination for me. It's the journey of learning and exploring and healing.
So when you say sovereignty, what does that mean to you?
Sovereignty means staying in relationship with life and not losing myself in that. And I've been lost. I've been in relationship with life my whole life, and I've lost myself almost at every turn. And when I started to learn how to turn my pain into the greatest healing tools, then everything started to be worth it. So sovereignty to me is staying in relationship with life and not losing myself in it. Standing in my light, dropping story, but being unafraid to be human.
Oh my God. I just feel that so deep.
I know, doesn't it resonate? It just hits right in your sacral. It resonates there. It beams up to the heart, and then it comes right through the crown. And you're just like, wow, you mean I can have a sovereign path? I can be sovereign and I can still be human and feel everything and not live from the neck up? Absolutely. That's where the beauty, that's where the cohesiveness starts to come in. And then we don't look at pain as being something that diminishes us and takes us and we stuff it and we just try to be all, oh yeah, I'm good, I'm fine, but inside my boot, my sock is falling off, so to speak.
Yes.
So we get to feel it. We get to move. The shortest journey we'll ever take is from here to here, but it's the longest journey we'll ever make, because to get that connection,
that's the invitation for life.
Yes.
Is to move from here
Drop
into
it
here.
in. Drop it in. Yeah.
So powerful.
Life is such a beautiful mess. It's such a beautiful mess. And it's like when you move from entanglement to cohesion, and you really start to just move through it instead of letting the emotions settle and get stagnant and we push them down. When we move through that pain and we let that emotion move through us and we completely feel it and then we let it move out, Expansion.
Do you have a specific medicine for your emotions to move?
Yes. They say that pain is a great motivator. And, I kind of mentioned it before. I talked about, toxicity. We think that, toxic relationships that we learn through those, but we learn better from beauty, from painful beauty. And so, yes, so I really experienced one of the most heartbreaking things that I could ever experience in life just recently. I mean, it happened right at the end of January. And at that moment, that person gave me so many beautiful gifts, that's all that matters now is the beauty that evolved through me. But it was the music and the movement. Music is medicine. So what I can say to you, anybody, I'm not talking to just women, I'm not talking to men. We both have these beautiful energies within us. We both have divine masculine and divine feminine. And most of the time, we don't even realize or even know what they are. We just go through life on automatic pilot. But I'm going to tell you, if you have pain in your life, turn on the music that moves your soul and move. Doesn't matter if you know how to dance. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're goofy. I don't care where you are. I'll dance in the store. A song comes on and I'm by myself. I am singing, I'm dancing. And the next thing you know, I have people coming up to me and going, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Thank you for being here today. And I'm like, do me a favor and never forget it. And when the music moves you, move.
Yes.
Because that way the energy doesn't have a chance to get stagnant.
Yes.
It doesn't have a chance
settle.
to get in our hips, and then we're stiff, and then we carry all that pain right there. Let it move you. Even if you're crying, let it. Let it feel every bit of it. And then the expansive healing that comes from it. So I say if there's one thing for me that has really helped me learn how to move pain, it's music is medicine. Move that body, move that energy. Don't give it a chance to settle. Feel every bit of it and let it move out.
For me, I used to move to get a result of how I looked or how it would be perceived or how I would perform. Perform. And so this is a totally different shift to move to support and even understand that there is energy in motion. Allow it to move through you because there's nothing you have to perform when you are being.
Exactly.
Because the truth of us doesn't need extra.
No. And
it's just move what isn't true out.
And what you said earlier is exactly kind of what I've wanted to talk about today. And it's territory that not many people, it's starting to become more prominent. But you said, I moved to create something, to look a certain way or to perform. That's wounded masculine energy. That's how I am valued by what I can do or how I can look or how I can show the world that I am. And there's no way we can heal any of the trauma within us if we don't heal the two energies that are within us that make us up, and that is the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And most of the time in the world we live in today, they're wounded. The masculine shows up with his sword. He's ready to defend. He's ready to protect. He's on guard. And if we don't heal that energy, we're never going to get to the beautiful divine feminine and let that creative fire flow. So,
and ultimately that's where we want to be.
Yes.
It's where we want to be. We're at a point in humanity that we get to have this conversation and understand a new way of being, a new way of operating, a new way of consciousness.
Yes. Because most of the world right now is sitting here and going, my gosh, why do we have so much war? Why do we have so much poverty? Why do we have third world countries that all they want is clean water and good schools for their children and they don't have it? Why do we have so much raping and pillaging of the earth and things like that? And the best way I can describe that is the wounded masculine. That is a wounded masculine energy driven by ego, driven by power. And that's got us into so many wars. That's got us into the point where we're at. So a good way to bring common ground to this is, you brought that up. We are in a point in humanity where we're going, how do we have all of this? It's been going on. The only way to heal something is to reveal it. It's hard because we get hurt and we don't like to see the things that are happening in the world, but we can't be naive and go, oh my gosh, this just started happening. It's been going on for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. The shift that is happening now is we're recognizing that it's a wounded masculine energy and that he's tired. That wounded masculine energy is tired from wielding that sword and defending and protecting.
I think that's such a powerful point, because we get to have compassion for the wounded masculine. Yes. It was doing the best it could.
Absolutely. We get to say, here's my feminine energy. Rest. Drop that right shoulder. Put that sword down. Put your head on my shoulder. I've got you. Let me support you in the way that I can. And the shift has happened, and I believe the shift has been made into the divine feminine, but we still have to heal. We still have to go through the process of healing it within ourselves so we have that perfect cohesion. And I think I've been on a spiritual journey for 23 years when I got clean and sober.
Okay.
And I've been on that journey, and every hurt that I've accumulated and acquired has led up to the point of about 2020, when I decided to step through some fear, walk away from a corporate job
That's right. I forgot about that.
I walked away from a very
That was such a bold move.
Corporate job to go into a health and wellness business.
That's right. I forgot.
But they were forcing my hand because they were going to make me choose my morals. Yep. And I'm not willing to give up what I believe in to have a job. And all my guides and my higher self said, just step forward, stop being afraid. And I mean, I'm still driven by some fears, but they're nowhere near what they were. But in 2020, my life really started to open up, and I started to shut down some trauma bonded relationship that I'd been in for way too long, and started to change some things. I did plant medicine for the first time, ayahuasca. What a beautiful, beautiful part of my journey that was, to show me fear and how I freeze in the form of fear. I don't do anything. I just want to disappear, or it disappear. But it started all this of me realizing what I needed to heal inside of me and how to go about it, and to let go of the how it's going to happen and just move forward.
Just take the first step and trust.
And be alive.
That it would be revealed. The next step.
Yeah. I had so many beautiful women around me at the time going, share your light. Oh my gosh, do you not see what we see? You know, when you speak, do you not hear what we're hearing? You are divinely led. You know, we can hear it because we've been on that path. But and so I started to just take those steps and get that confidence, and now it's just broke so wide open that, my guides just go, okay, you're taking too long. Let's go. And I'm like, okay. And it's beautiful. I mean, it's so beautiful, but stepping into the health and wellness business, holistic, alternative, teaching people, because the toxic chemicals in our environment right now, that's everything that's meant to calcify our pineal gland. That's our God gland. That's our connection to source gland. We don't want that calcified. We want that clear and open, so we have that direct signal, and then that signal leads down to our sacral. That's creativity and relationship. I mean, for women, that's where we create, and for men, it's the same thing too. That's where you get your creative energy from. And so it's just been this beautiful winding, and it's like, did I stay on my path? From what normal people say, the path is straight ahead. But no, my path was winding and weaving, and it took me, and it didn't matter what direction I went in.
Yep.
I still ended up right here having this beautiful conversation with you. When we ran into each other the other night, that was by such divine appointment because I'm leaving the gym. She's getting in her car. I roll down the window. I go, hey. She's like, oh, open the door. Let me in. And she jumps right in. And we end up sitting there for almost an hour. I mean,
and what's so amazing when you let go of the reins is I was eating dinner by myself and I had so many questions. Like, God, where are you taking me? Like I feel this energy of this fire horse energy and I'm just like excited and I'm ready to go. But I'm just like, how exactly does this look? I walk out to my car and I see you. And we sat in her car for a minute and we had a conversation and it was like, that was the missing piece. That was the puzzle piece that I needed that was kind of like things were kind of cloudy for me. And this is what's so cool is God often does work through other people. You being held by the women that are like, I see you, Queen. I see your divinity. I see you. And it's reflected back to you. Okay, I'm stepping forward.
Yes.
And when we can look at the relationships that we have in life and from a place of absolute gratitude, what is this teaching me? What are you showing me?
Yes.
It's just such a fun path to walk.
Oh, yeah. It's like I said, it's a beautiful mess because it's never going to be in one nice, neat little package.
No.
And I wouldn't want it that way. Oh my gosh. I think back at all the things I would have missed if it would have been in a nice, neat little package. I mean, now, I guess for me, it's remembering who I truly am. And I think that coming back to your question, what is my mission? I want to encourage everybody to reach inward. Stop looking outward. Remember who you truly are and to start dropping off the stories of your upbringing, of everything. If your life has been revolved around church, but you still feel like there's something more, like there's something missing there, or if you didn't have church and you're wondering and you're calling out, there's something more. That's the call of the great awakening within you. That is a time to remember who you truly are. And a lot of people I follow Dr. Samuel B. Lee. I think he is an amazing, incredible teacher. He leads by example. He believes it wholeheartedly. He has the Eternal Life Tribe. But who we truly are is we're one with God. We're one with Source. Whatever you choose to call it, Mother, Father, Creator, I believe that it takes two to create. So for me to call God a he, that just doesn't feel right for me. And that was kind of indoctrinated into me because of how I was brought up in the church. God is a he. That's a hierarchy. That didn't sit right for me. I had to reinvent God several times, even especially after I got clean and sober, because I'm reinventing myself and I'm going, okay, what does this look like? And now for me, God is this infinite energy field of unlimited possibilities. It's like I'm a manifesting generator. And when I connect with that power within me, I can create anything I want in 24 hours. When it's aligned and it's meant to be, I don't be in competition with anybody. Competition is a way to cut off not only your energy, but that other person's energy. To want someone else to fail in their business means I want to fail in my business. What that says is we're all one.
Oh
We are
my
all
goodness.
one.
And
We
what's
are all
possible?
one.
Yes, and what's possible for you is possible for me. So we look at it from a place of abundance,
Yes,
rather than a place of scarcity.
absolutely. So I want everybody to succeed.
Your celebration is my celebration.
Absolutely.
Your sorrow is my sorrow.
And hopefully your sorrow turns into a greater expansion into who you
Yes.
truly are. So remembering who we truly are, I'll just put it right out there. I believe I'm one with God. I am not separate from him. I'm a tiny fractal of God. You're a tiny fractal of God. We get the experience of coming down to this master school and learning all of this Some people want to call it the matrix. However you want to look at it, this is a master school and I'm here to learn, but I'm here to remember that I am a sovereign being. I'm one with God. I am powerful. I'm not disconnected from him. This is going to be a bold statement. And I know, but I'm here to be bold. I'm here to be bold and I'm here to call out remembrance. Let's bring an ancient future. An ancient future means let's go back to before the church was reformed and before the Bible was redone, and they took out Gnostic chapters and gospels, and they decided to cherry pick what they wanted in there to fit their agenda. I'm here to say that Yeshua and Mary Magdalene and their ministry is the law of one, which says we are all one. We are all connected. We are all of that power. We are one with God, and there was no original sin. I believe that sin was created to keep me separate from God, because if we all learn this beautiful, simple thing that we're one with God, we're connected, we're all one, there is no difference, it's game over. We are that powerful. And so for me, it's just like, let's shed light. And if it resonates, good. If I've struck a chord and you're going, good. If I want you to get curious. I want you to start questioning everything. If there is something that's sitting unsettled in you and you're going, this used to work for me for a while, but it's not working anymore. Question everything and seek your truth, but don't seek it outside of yourself. Seek it inside, because this is where heaven is.
I think that is such a powerful statement, Sheri, because I mean, I grew up in the church and it was like a foundation for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was this point in time that I was just like, it doesn't sit anymore. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't because I was reading all of this anti or anything like that. Mm-mm. It was me listening to my inner knowing, and I was like, this doesn't resonate. And I remember it was about 2 years ago that the missionaries showed up at my house, and my son is over shoveling the snow at the neighbor's house. I think he was 8 at the time. And the missionaries come over and they're like, oh, how old are you? And he said 8. And they're like, oh, do you want to get baptized so that you can live with God and be forgiven for your sins? And I don't know what happened, but there was this massive shift that I felt in my body. And I was like, doesn't resonate. Mm-hmm. That doesn't resonate. Mm-hmm. He's not innately bad. He's innately good.
Yes.
And I think
yes. You're an 8-year-old boy out shoveling snow and you're good.
But we all are innately good.
Yes, we are. Yes. And that was Yeshua's most important message to Mary Magdalene and to take to the other apostles was, there is no original sin. And what he was stating there was, be aware, because there is going to be a time when there's going to be organizations and they're going to organize and they're going to come against my ministry and what I'm saying. And they're going to say, yes, there is sin, and they're going to put it on women. It never resonated with me well when Mary Magdalene was a prostitute, and that she needed to be saved. That was something I'm just like going, what is this? This just doesn't feel right. And then in the beginning of 2025, Yeshua and Mary Magdalene came into my life. I mean, it was like every step I took, it was something. And I'm like going, okay, I want to learn about Jesus before he was Jesus. Who was he as a young boy? Where did he go and study? How did he learn to transcend such pain? And I started looking into it. And then the Essenes came into my life. And the Essenes are the ones that did the Dead Sea Scrolls, and they made sure that the records were kept and valued. How were we supposed to know some of these things? Because Constantine and his army were destined to destroy. They wanted to wipe out because they had an agenda. They wanted it to be a hierarchy. They wanted women to be below men. But I am here to tell you loud and proud that Mary Magdalene was just as powerful as Yeshua. And in order for him to do his great things, she had to be there with him.
One thing that I keeps coming to me is it's power to power.
Yes.
It's not power over.
No.
It's not power under. And this is the place that we are moving into, is power to power in claiming our sovereignty, in claiming our innate.
And here's the beauty of Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. They were balanced in their energies. They were healed. She was divine in her feminine, and she brought what her feminine was meant to do. He brought his masculine. And neither one said, oh, well, I can do what a man can do, or I'm not going to do that. That's what they didn't need that. It was balance and it was cohesion. And so they embodied each other, and they lived and breathed the law of one. They were not disconnected from God. That is how they were able to absorb the teachings that they did. That is how the Essenes were able to hold space while they embodied each other, and he resurrected to her. He would not have been able to do what he did without her. And I know that a lot of people are going to go, oh, I can't believe it. No, I'm so sorry. It takes two to create. It's divinity. It's divine. And it's connection to source that gives us that power. And I'm just here to illuminate. Question, don't just blindly believe me. Start looking into it.
Thank you for saying that.
Question,
Yes.
don't blindly believe me.
Yep.
I didn't blindly believe all the people that I heard either, but something that struck a chord in me, and I was like, I'm going to look into that. And the next thing I know, these doorways and avenues were brought to me, and it was beautiful. And now there's not a day that goes by that before my feet hit the floor, I don't call out to these ancient wise ones, and I ask them to lovingly connect with me, to help me stay grounded and to remember who I truly am. You know, Archangel Raphael is the healing of God. Oh my gosh, how beautiful is that we have access to these wonderful brothers and sisters, these archangels, these energies, because we're all energy. That's what it's about. We're energy.
It comes back to this being willing to receive the support.
Yes.
And access things spiritually. Support and the help and the protection.
Yeah. I remember I was 12 years old when I walked away from the church, and I fought tooth and nail with my mom and dad. Because unfortunately, and this is the hierarchy, and this is how it truly starts to show itself. There is so much dissension in organized religions. If you have a client and they really start to get comfortable and they start to open up and they're a member of a church, pretty soon you start to learn the truth. Oh my gosh, this person and this person, nobody gets along in church. Everybody's at each other. And I'm going, but this is a house of God, right? How does this happen in a house of God? Wait a minute, this is organized. Yeah. Yeah, this is about hierarchy. This is about power. This is about suppression. This is about sin. This is about separation. So when I was 12, my dad, he was a wounded human. He could only give what he had been given himself. And at 12 years old, I was like, I do not want to go to this church anymore if it only exists on Sunday. And then Monday through Saturday, we're walking on eggshells and life is completely a crap show. I'm sorry. I don't want to be a part of this. If this is God, I don't want it. And then as little bits and pieces were coming in, I was realizing that other people were feeling that way too. Oh yeah, it only exists on Sunday. And then even after church, my dad stops the car and beats my mom on the way home because he's so angry. What is that church lacking? Is it connection? Is it being one with God? I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to say yes.
It's the transformation and the remembering and the welcoming in of truly that connection to truth.
Absolutely. And so at 12 years old, I was going, this doesn't work for me. Yes, I was ready and on my way to being a drug addict. I had already been smoking cigarettes. That was the gateway. I was going to open up into alcohol and move into marijuana and all this. But there was underlying trauma that I brought into this world that was in the cauldron that I was stirring. And I'm here to heal that trauma because I believe that this century is about healing ancestral trauma, because it is only in healing that trauma that we cut that cord, we set that past free and all of them, and we set the future free. And that's what it's about, because we've got to start cutting off that cycle of trauma.
That word has really been coming up for me lately. Decide.
Mm-hmm.
Decide means to literally cut off.
Mm-hmm.
The root word of it's to cut off.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's no other options. We're not just going to play this game of I'm show up on Sunday, say I claim my savior, I'm healed. It's taking accountability and cutting off anything other than progression, enlightenment, remembering the truth of who we are.
Because if you're forgetting by Monday what the pastor said on Sunday, you're not walking anything out. And I believe that there is a missing part of the teaching there. And I don't think it's missing by accident. I think it's missing on purpose, because they want that guilt, that shame, that fear. If you don't do this, oh, you're not going to, if you don't do this. But then I just said that I accepted Jesus as my brother and my savior, and I'm a sinner saved by grace. But then I show up for church again on Sunday and I'm back to being that sinner saved by grace, just depending on the hellfire and condemnation that's coming through in that. And like I said, I'm stirring the pot here, but you know what?
You are.
I'm
Thank you so much for doing it, Sheri.
I'm okay with that, because you know what? We have a right to remember who we truly are. We have a right to reach inside and to stop looking outside for doctors to heal us, hospitals, all of this. We have the power within us. We were born with everything within us we need to heal. Of course, we have a path and a journey, and we need to make that journey back to ourselves, back to the true power that we are. We have that responsibility to do that. And there's a great erasing of our memory. I believe that there's a reason why babies don't talk when they're young, because I believe that they still remember what God's voice sounds like, what God smells like. I mean, I believe that they still feel and know so much. That's why they can't speak. And the minute that we start to grow and toddle and speak and all that, our memories are wiped, because then our journey begins. How are our parents shaping us? Are our parents shaping us by their trauma? I mean, because if I don't heal my trauma, it's going to raise my children.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so we're not encouraged to do that, but I am. I'm encouraging, because I walked around with that trauma too long, too much. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't even know what it was.
Okay, so can we go there for just a second? And why do you think you turned to the alcohol and the drugs and can you speak to that?
Yeah.
With the trauma?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was adopted, and we live in a time now where we're starting to really explore and know the traumas that happen in the womb. In the womb. Now, if you have two loving parents that are so in love, and this baby is planned and wanted, they love this baby, and this baby grows in this beautiful, fragrant garden, there's chances that that birth is going to be so good, but say the baby's breech and there's trauma in that birth canal. We're starting to open up the whole can of, yes, there is trauma, and that baby, like say a baby's born early, 9 times out of 10, that kid does not want to finish projects. It has a hard time finishing things.
Really?
Because that baby couldn't make it to term. I couldn't even make it to term. So how am I going to finish this? So they leave behind a whole avenue of unfinished business. Babies that get cords wrapped around their neck, they're starting to find that those kids struggle in life. My daughter was one of them. Everything was going fine. Next thing you know, bells and whistles are going off. Her heart rate went down. The cord got wrapped around her neck with a twist. She was going downhill fast. And you know what? She struggles. She struggles for everything. And it's just so hard to watch, but it's proof. And so for me, I was going to be born to a single, unwed mother in 1968 in Eugene, Oregon. So I was born in the peace and love and free love and all of that stuff in a college town. There was so much more behind this trauma that unfolded as I was older. And it didn't start to unravel until I got out of prison. Yes, I've been to prison. Yes,
I didn't know that part of your story.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I was involved in meth. I was involved in the whole thing. I mean, but the reason I turned to that stuff is because I wasn't good enough who I was. I was already with all that trauma that I'm not good enough. I experienced the 3 most severe forms of separation. I separated from God when I came into my mother's womb. Then when I was born, I was separated from my mother, but then I didn't even get that golden 45 minutes. They whisked me away. I didn't get to see her. And then I was truly separated. So I came into this world with abandonment issues. I'm unloved. I'm unwanted. And those were deep. Because as I came to realize just 4 years ago in an incredible ancestral trauma healing, that I brought in from my ancestors the trauma of self-loathing and self-hatred, but it was my path to heal it. That was part of my path to heal it.
Yeah.
But I didn't remember until I was shown in a plant medicine ceremony. But that is why I turned to drugs and alcohol, because I wasn't good enough. I was unloved. I was unwanted. And that made me something else. But even then I was uncomfortable in my own skin.
I have this theory that highly spiritual people actually turn to that to turn down their gifts.
And it can be.
But I think most people are we all are
Yes, we
highly
all are.
spiritual.
But
we have different coping mechanisms.
Yes.
And so let's don't shame it. Let's get to the root of what we've forgotten, the truth that we're missing, that you are worthy, you are enough.
Yes.
And we're going to let all of that go and decide that we're not carrying it on to another generation.
Yes, exactly. Heal it and be done. Yeah.
But the whole thing is bringing awareness to what is driving.
Yes, exactly. And there's another element to what you just said about, I believe that highly gifted people often turn to that to mellow out their things. But on the other side of that, there are darker energies that don't want someone to realize and remember how powerful they are. So they try to put up roadblocks everywhere to detour you from finding out how powerful you are. I know the day that I got clean and sober, all those energies went, we had her.
Yeah.
And now when my feet hit the floor, they go, oh Lord, what's she up to today? I'm up to good stuff. I'm up to enlightening.
Yes.
When my feet hit the floor, yep, you bet. I'm going to illuminate. I'm going to enlighten. I'm going to share truth. I'm going to get bold. I'm going to stand in my path, my sovereignty. I'm going to stand in relationship with life, and I'm never going to lose myself again.
That's right, Queen.
Yep, exactly.
Thank you for showing us all how it's done.
Oh, I don't know if I've done that. But
thank you for leading.
Yeah.
I know the challenge of walking that path for you to make those decisions every day, every moment.
An interesting thing about between genetics, like medical genetics, and they say that cancer is hereditary and all that. They want you to believe that that's way more than what it is. Hereditary disease is really actually only about 5%, and it's more lifestyle and how you live and how you think and what kind of emotions you trap inside. But ancestral trauma is 95% passed on through the genes. So I was adopted. I did not bond with my mother. I did not know how to bond. I didn't bond my whole life. I had 2 daughters. I had 2 girls, both with 2 different dads, and I didn't raise either one of them. They were adopted, luckily, by my family, so they were raised in the family. I didn't know how to bond. And then my daughter, Jessica, almost lost her oldest 2 children because she was following in the same thing. So you cannot tell me that that ancestral trauma does not follow. In order to make me, there was 4 grandparents. In order for them, there was 8. In order for them, there's 16. In order for them, there's 32. You look at the trauma that's being inflicted in your DNA, and it follows. And there is a way to heal it.
Something that we all want for our children is a better life than we had. But what I'm hearing you say is the most powerful thing that we can do is do our own work.
Yes. I can't do the work for anybody else. I hear people say it all the time. I'm going to get clean for my husband, or I'm going to get clean for my children. It fails every time. But when I say, I place value on myself and I'm going to do it for me, there is 100% success. Because I can't say that I love someone more than I love myself, because I can't give away what I don't have for myself.
Right.
So until I love myself.
Well, and it might last for a minute.
A minute.
It might last, but not long term.
It lasts as long as we push it and nurture it and make it and force it. Yes, we're forcing a round peg into a square hole. I decided I'm not going to do that anymore. I am me. I'm fitting in where I fit in. I have a rightful seat at any table. And
I just,
yeah, we all do. We have a rightful seat at that table. Another one of my favorite Gnostic Gospels that got removed is about the Pistis Sophia. And she is along the same lines, a little bit before Mary Magdalene Gospel, but we are all of her lineage. This is the classic story of us. We come down to earth, we're seeking light. We want to have this experience and this path and this journey. We come down here, we forget who we are. We get trapped in illusion. We get swayed by every way the waves go, depending on how we're shaped and formed and what type of family structure we're born into. And then at some point in time in everyone's life, and you can't tell me you haven't experienced this, I've experienced it many times, but you say, there has got to be something more. And even if you're extravagantly rich, and I think they say it more than anybody, because if they get honest, I've heard some people get really honest and they say, money doesn't make me wealthy. I am spiritually broke, because they have access to everything. But everybody at some point in time in their life says, there has got to be something more. So we cry out. And that's when we start to dig out. We start to dig out. And we offload everything that we've stuffed down inside us, because what we're stuffing on top of is God. That's where God lives. One of the most profound things I was ever told, I went to do a plant medicine ceremony in Guatemala 2 years ago. I just returned from one at the end of January, and the first time I went to Guatemala was the year before. And a beautiful husband and wife team and their team of singers and that make this beautiful place. That's where I learned about the ancestral trauma that I had. And I learned that it went 120 generations back, and it was just full of self-help, loathing, and self-hatred. And at that moment, when that was shown to me, my whole life, I did my life review right then. I went back over my whole life review and I went, everything I did, I wasn't searching for love. I was solidifying the fact that I deserved to self-loathe and self-hate.
Oh,
Everything I did was to because and what my ancestors did, I can understand why they felt that. And I felt nothing but compassion and love for them at that point, because I was like, oh, I'm so sorry that you went through that, but I'm here to heal it now. So let's go. And
so is that how you do it? Is you just feel it and acknowledge it?
no, it's not always that easy. I would have never have known that that's what I was healing without the assistance of that beautiful plant medicine, ayahuasca. Now, am I saying everybody should go do it? If it calls to you, then it's calling to you and you're going to do it. But there's other ways. But I would have never have known that depth without her, because she knew. She knew the depth. She took me all the way back into the wombs of my grandmothers and helped me pull out all of that in a purge to help me clear that for them, because they had been holding on to horrific guilt and shame and self-loathing, and that they were never, ever going to be accepted by God. And that is such blasphemy. You are accepted and loved by God, and I'm here to do the work. And, and I still had 2 grannies that wouldn't accept it. They still don't believe they do. And I just told them, whenever you're ready to do the work, I am here and I will be honored to purge that for you. Let's purge all these old soul contracts, because this year of the snake just ended.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, all of those old skins are gone.
That kept us small.
Yes. Yep. And here's where I think people get stuck. I got stuck in this for the longest time. I kept looking for the next modality, when what ayahuasca showed me this last time was, my dear, beautiful girl, you have shed all the skins you need to shed. Stop scraping at it.
Yes.
Stop picking at it.
Just live and
You've
be.
done it. Now let that healing, let me heal that now. Move with it. Expand your consciousness. And now let it be your greatest healing tool. Let it move you. And it was like,
well,
hey.
And that makes complete and total sense. You go into the pain, and then you get to enjoy the pleasure, the joy, abundance, the love, the magic of life, the so full of color.
But you
had to get rid of that first.
The Matrix doesn't want us to.
Right.
The Matrix will all of a sudden bring you the next thing. Next thing you know, you're scrolling and here's some lady talking about, hey, I've got this course, and this modality will help you. And you're like, oh, all of a sudden something's triggered and you go, oh, something within me isn't healed, or else that wouldn't be showing up. No, discernment. We don't need to fall for the next modality. We don't need to do all that. If you still need it, then it will continue to call you, but we don't need to keep that. So the Matrix kind of keeps us in that gear moving. We need the next one to move. No, we need to shift into that spiral where it's self-perpetuating.
One thing that I have come to realize is that life will show you where you're not free.
Mm-hmm.
Just by living life, we see where we're not free.
Yes.
And the more that we can lean in and get curious with that.
Well, if you're living from the neck up, you're in a wounded masculine energy. And we have to, and this is going to come around full circle to where we started, but in order to get to that divine feminine energy, to let that creative fire do what she is meant to do, we have to heal that masculine energy. If he's defensive, if you're living from the neck up and all you're doing is thinking about the world and thinking about your life, and you're making lists and you're marking it off, and your value is in what you do and how you present yourself and what you've got to show for your life, you are in a wounded masculine energy. And that doesn't mean you're damaged. That doesn't mean you're defective. It doesn't mean anything except that you're being protective of yourself. And the most precious thing you're guarding is that inner child. We have to balance. We have to heal that inner child. We have to let that inner child, because the inner child is the one who remembers how to get back to God.
It knows the way.
Because the inner child knows the way
Well,
home.
and that goes back to scripture. Become like a child to enter the kingdom of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
It's that curiosity.
Yes.
It's that playfulness. It's that faith.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite statues I've ever seen was a boy pushing a girl in a swing, and it's a bronze statue, and it's got the chains, like the chains are going up and looping around a branch or something, but all of a sudden the chains just stop. And they're connected, but to what? They're connected to God.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. So, we need to heal.
But that truly is what we're asked to do, is to have faith. Stop trying. And that's where God's miracles truly come in, is through faith.
Yes.
When we have everything planned out and we're doing it on our own, we also get to co-create with God, and we get to leave space for the miracles where the path comes up to meet you.
Yeah. Another thing that I started going to church a couple of years ago. I thought, well, maybe I need to connect back with a brick and mortar building. Let's see how this feels in the space I'm in right now. And it fell right back in. I was like, you're on a roll. You're on a roll. Okay, keep going. Keep going. You're almost there. Say it. Say it. And then all of a sudden, you're a sinner. You're a sinner saved by grace, and the devil's out to kill, steal, and destroy your children. And I'm like, there's kids sitting right here in this, that's a scary thing to say. You're scaring the heck out of children. And what's one of the biggest things that keeps us separated from God? Fear. My heavens, and it dawned on me on my very last day in church. I went, oh my gosh, they have found a way to solidify and keep Christians hostage, and not to go into an active state of love is action. Love is not passive. Love is action, and love is what God is. God is love. Love is God. All is one. The law of one is love. And I'm going, it just dawned on me with profound clarity. I went, they found a way to keep Christians hostage. They made the second coming of Jesus. And so now, instead of believing that we are one, because what did the scripture say? Greater things, this is Jesus's words, greater things that I have done, you will do through me. Oh, sit back and let that settle into your soul. What does that mean? That means that I have accepted Jesus not only as my Savior, but as my brother. And I am one with you. There is no separation. So greater things that you have done, I will do. Yes, I will, because I am not separated from you, Yeshua. I am not. So in that second coming of Jesus, I'm sure I'm going to rattle some cages here too. Okay, that's what I came here to do today. So let's just be bold. But they've told Christians the second coming. Yes, there may be. Jesus may decide to come back again as a great teacher. But when we are held hostage by that thought, it's like, oh, I can't wait. I can't do anything because Jesus is going to come and do it for me. Ooh, they have you captured.
Right.
They have you laid down. They have you bound and chained, hook, line, and sinker. And you are not going to move from that living grave that you're in. I'm sorry.
Yep. It keeps you out of it steals your personal power.
It does. That is a living grave. I'm going to go to church and I'm going to continue to do my things. And I'm going to remember that I have guilt, shame, fear, and separation from God. And I'm always going to be a sinner and I'm separate from you. Ooh, question that, please. Please question that. Don't let that sit well with you. Question it and remember who you truly are. You're one with God. There's no denying it. And when you start to utilize that power, it's a beautiful thing. I believe in hands-on healings. I believe that I can call on my brother Jesus. I believe I can call on Yeshua and I can call him in and I can say, use me as your vessel and allow me to heal. And I can lay my hands on someone and they can be better. We all have that ability. I'm not anything special. We all have that ability. It's just that straight faith in who you truly are, in remembering, bringing that ancient future. We're not separate. We are not separate. And they, I still can't understand why they left that verse in the Bible, but wow, I love that they did because that's powerful and that's connection to God.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's so powerful. What is one thing that someone listening to this podcast could do to connect deeper to that?
Start looking into the Gnostic Gospels. I mean, if you really want to, and get curious. I mean, I got curious because the churches, and in every church sermon, I never heard much about Jesus as a child. What did he do as a teenager? Where was he? And all of that. Because they took that out because they didn't want you to know where he was. He was traveling with his very rich uncle who was taking him to seaports and different places to learn these amazing gifts and powers of how to transcend pain, how to rise above. See, he moved up all 12 densities in one lifetime. I mean, that's unheard of, but he had a special mission. He came back
so
here.
When you say 12 densities, are you saying are you talking the scale of consciousness?
The levels of frequency.
Yes.
Map
of consciousness.
The levels of frequency. Okay. He raised up through those so he could transcend. He could transcend the pain. And he learned how to do that through meditation and breath work. And I mean, we're talking massive.
Gratitude.
Yes, gratitude, everything. The Lost Gospel of Thomas that they took out that was discovered not too long ago by Greg Braden. Beautiful. He talks about this and he's so passionate about it. But in the Bible, they teach us to pray in lack. I have a friend, she's very sick. Oh, please come and heal her body. When we pray like that, we are pleading with God because we don't believe it's happened and we don't believe that it can really. But if we come to God and we say, thank you so much for the healing that you have, that has occurred in her body. She is healed. She is well. She is transmuted from this sickness into a healthy being. Thank you so much. It is done. It is done. It is done.
Creating spiritually.
Yes.
Before it manifests physically.
Absolutely. That is it. And it is in that absolute 100% belief in that it happens. I'll give you an example. I have a wonderful friend. He's a healer. He's an energy healer. He got his gifts at about 70. He was blown away. His mother was a 100% Native American healer, and she's a beautiful woman, no longer on this earth, but she is so present in him that it's just a beautiful thing. And he's a healer. And he also believes in God and Jesus Christ 100%. But he reached out to me the other day and he says, "Oh, sister, I need you. I'm so sick. It started coming on. I have pneumonia. I'm actually going to head to the hospital." And I reached back to him and I says, "Whoa, brother, what? What are you doing? Why are you going to a hospital? Why are you reaching out and going to take antibiotics into your body that are going to deplete your immune system and shut you down and completely kill your microbiome? Why are you going to do that? Have you, of all people, forgotten that you have the healing power of Yeshua and God's ultimate healing power within you?" And he asked for frequencies. I work with frequency healing, so I have some Rife machines which are beautiful, and I can broadcast them anywhere because I believe in those, because we are all frequency and energy. So I says, "Yes, of course I'm going to send you frequencies and I will help you." I says, "But brother, rub your hands together and create that heat and look inside." And I says, "And I'm doing the same thing right now." He reached out to me the day after and he goes, "Sheri, I have to admit, I thank you so much. I didn't go to the hospital. And about 20 minutes after I talked to you on the phone, I started feeling better. My immune system started to come up. Symptoms started to go away. And I'm on my way to 100% healing." And I says, "Yes, I absolutely knew that. You just needed to be reminded of who you truly are."
And that also shows the power of having connection with other people that can hold that faith.
Absolutely.
When we're in a moment of forgetting.
So, question everything. If you're curious, look into the Gnostic chapel, the Gospels. They're there. Start to research what Yeshua did before he became Jesus Christ of the Bible. Look into his ministry. Look into the Law of One. Aaron Abke talks about it all the time. Beautiful ministry of the Law of One. No separation from God. No original sin. I know it's risky. I know it's bold. But you know what? God is bold. And he wants us to be bold. And I know when we were, just before we were psyching ourselves up for this, she's like, "Oh, I'm so ready for this conversation." She goes, "We're going to stir it up." And I says, "Yes, we are." But that's what spiritual warriors do. You have people question. I mean, I know a wonderful lady that was so indoctrinated into the church. She went to seminary. She did all that. She did all the learnings, the teachings and everything. And then all of a sudden her whole world got blown open because she started to realize, and the truth was shown to her about the hijackings of the Bible. I'm here to be the expansive consciousness that I am. I'm here to be one with God. I'm here to share that message, and I'm here to encourage you to look into it too. Don't play small anymore. Let that immense field of unlimited possibilities reach in, knock on your heart, and when that door opens, drop in. And drop in and stay there. It doesn't mean we'll never use this, but once we heal and we balance those energies, and I'm sure we'll get together.
Crack this open.
Yeah, cracked open. You can't be a spiritual warrior if your heart's not broken. If you've never had your heart broken, you cannot be a spiritual warrior. It just doesn't work that way. And so, I'm sure we'll get together. I'm sure we'll do more. I mean, I think we're on a journey of exploration. I would love to to start to explain what masculine energy versus wounded masculine energy looks like, how it shows up in the mind, how it shows up in the body, how it shows up in actions. And then I would like to show you how we heal that. And then we move on to the feminine.
Yes.
I mean, I think that that's valuable, but people, we just go through our days automatic and we don't even realize that, man, why am I acting that way? We go home and scratch our head and go, oh my gosh, that reaction that I had with that person, it haunts you. It haunts you.
With
It
more
haunts you.
guilt and shame.
Yes. But until you understand what that is and what that driving force is, you're just not going to heal it.
Right. Stuck in the loop.
Absolutely. So I say question everything. If this has made a gentle sting between us and you're like going, oh, how dare she? You know, because I know that some people immediately, the gentle sting between us.
That was perfect.
So I know the minute that the first time a person says, I am one with God, I know you're just going to get blanketed with shame and guilt, because how dare I put myself in with that supreme being outside of me? Well, as long as you think of that supreme being outside of you and you're praying to a man in the sky, I can understand that blanket of guilt and shame. It's not. He says heaven is within us. Heaven on earth is within us. That means the remembrance needs to happen. Let's start offloading all of the stuff we've stuffed down in there. Let's find God. That's what Jaya told me. I says, Jaya, now that I've created this massive hole inside of me and I've offloaded all this trauma, I go, now where do I go to find something to fill it with? And he looked at me and he goes, my dear child, why do you need to fill it back with anything? You've just found God. I was like, oh, the tears want to come up inside of me just by thinking of that, because it's true. It's the emptiness where all the answers are. The mind stays convoluted. It's got thoughts going through it all day. But in the stillness, that's where you hear the voice. And the voice comes from within. And the voice is God. And the God within you says, I am one with you. Let's create heaven on earth. Remember who you are.
Thank you, friend.
That was so good.
Thank you, friend.
Thank you. It was meant to be. Meant to be.
So, if this rattled something inside of you, if you feel inspired to share it with a friend, please do. Together, we rise, and we're not here to know all of the answers, but we are here to get curious in what we might have missed.
Remember, just remember, it's not about adding more stuff in. It's about taking stuff away so we can remember what the true power is within us. And it's God. There's no separation.
Thank you. Trust your knowing. Take bold, courageous moves. Honor your energy and rise into who you're meant to be. Feel free to carry this alignment into every step, breath, and conversation. If today resonated, send it to a friend, because together we rise.